Hello there YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with another Arcanium run. It is a new year. Hopefully this year is good for all of you guys. Personal development, life stuff happening, wherever you need it. And hopefully this year is also a good year for Arcanium. Just in the last year that I've been playing the game, or half a year, saw a lot of good growth, honestly. It was, has it been a year? Hmm. Anyways, I came back like after the Lazar update because a update hit my Steam feed and I was like, "Oh yeah, this one game that I had that I haven't done anything in." Came back and well, I suppose the rest speaks for itself, I guess. 700 plus hours in the game. Um, but yeah, what are, I guess, down for the question, the comments below, what are you guys hoping for Arcanium this year? Or like in an upcoming update? Hopefully they release a little bit more than just one update. But for me personally, well, let's actually get in here first. Boop. Misty Rag Lady. This is actually not a bad crew. I just kind of wish that in this crew Rag had the AoE weak. But still stuff that we can use here. So I'm thinking about where exactly I want to take this team. Misty starts pretty frickin' bad in Uzir, but Rag could really use Uzir because Uzir is just great for minions in general. Lady really doesn't care except for the fact that there's one red enemy and she does primarily red damage. And then once you get to the next tier, there's like 2 red enemies. But generally speaking, it's pretty good for her. Rag really doesn't care because he's like green-purple. I don't think a purple enemy shows up in Uzir till like the second tier of units. And then even then it's not that bad because the other two can pretty much absolutely clobber that enemy. Um, and then of course Misty, you can't really utilize shock, which obviously Misty, Lady, Ragnarok, like I think Thunder Fists would be pretty good as an ultimate here, or Thunderclaw, because you can just get a lot of output from it. But and Uzir, obviously, more than half your enemies are going to be yellow, so they're going to take half damage from shock, and it just becomes like, it's okay. So it doesn't really pay to like stack shock here that much. Otherwise, like her defensive, 3 damage shield steal is at least green, so she still gets to use that. So I'm thinking here, like, can we afford to go someplace other than Uzir? Or do we want to go Uzir anyways? We've got access to vulnerable. Misty can go into vulnerable Misty detonate. Our minions aren't going to scale as well as they would if we were to have Rep Swarm, because obviously Rep Swarm is just all around better than, I believe this is called Savagery. But it's something. It's cheaper, barely. And it works on everybody's minions if for whatever reason somebody else is playing a minion. Generally speaking, not the case. But yeah. Um, Maybe this... See, I almost don't feel good at all taking this team to Scorchlands. Like, we could get a big hit here, especially if we get, like, literally anything from Misty. Because her Thunder Kicks are just... They don't really push a lot of output here. But I just feel like Anador is a waste. Why would we want to go to Anador? Crit on last. Crit on last is good. Getting some extra draw might be good. Especially on this team, because we're going to want to have to give... Yeah, we're going to want to give Ragnarok the AP right away. So then that means that we're not going to be able to invest in a draw or anything like that. Draw is going to make us more reliable. Maybe it is Anador? My only other problem with Anador is that I don't like the elites for this team on Anador. You know what? We'll try it. I personally am not feeling like it's the best. Well, I mean, when we get a shrine straight away, it seems a little bit better. 2 locations for a cache, I think that we might be able to afford that. We even have Uzir down here, which is actually a very good connection. This actually ended up working pretty well for us. My only problem with starting an Anador is that the 10 health is pretty garbo in my opinion, but I don't know, this team might need it if Ragnarok doesn't have Rep Swarm. 30 enemies in Anador for upgrade 3 abilities is absolutely astounding. We could get over into Scorched Lands, but we're probably going to be between these 2 locations, so we're going to go ahead and do that. 30 enemies in Uzir, we're probably not going to get that. And it's only for 600 gold. 600 gold is a lot, but it's not better than killing 30 enemies up here for 3 upgrades. Like, 3 upgrades is worth more than 600 gold in most cases. We even have a forge here for Uzir, actually, so this is actually pretty slick. We have a couple of card piles. I believe the person that we would want to ulti plus is... Really, it's not you. For some reason, I thought that went up a vulnerable. Does anybody care? Wow, all these ultis suck. I guess we could take them onto Misty because we were trying to go over here before so that we could replace her Thunder Kicks. Like, this is a great way to do that. We could just take almost any 3 cards is better than her Thunder Kicks in my opinion. Might as well take this Nature Shrine though. Nature Shrine is pretty bad, but actually I take that right back. Leeching is like the one good Nature Shrine outcome. Backlash is also like quite considerable, especially if you're a mostly defensive team, which we might have to end up being. But definitely leeching. Like with Misty and Lady doing so many hits, like being able to have any sort of regen is like absolutely incredible. It's kind of funny that the one good green shrine is right there when I didn't want to like start Anador. Shows you what I know. This outpost definitely gains value due to the fact that we want Savagery to do something. There's a number of good cards there. Obviously, if we get Wakai Recruit, that's like better than Ragnarok's Reptorian Swarms. Okay. So what I'm thinking we're going to do here is we're going to take this card pile, go into this assault battle. Hopefully this unlocks this forge, and we'll be able to take a look at what's there, but then we're going to be starting to farm these for, you know, the typical reasons. Free essence. I mean, there's Detonate. Now we just got to find a way to actually put shock on people. Detonate is a win condition. T-Bolt is incredible, especially if it's replacing Thunder Kick. Like, yes, there are some situations where Thunder Kick is going to output more damage than T-Bolt, but T-Bolt just straight up does 10 damage, and it's hard to say no to that. We are, of course, going into Uzir, so at that point, it's probably more debatable because at that point, Thunder Kick will output more than T-Bolt if it's against a bunch of yellow enemies. Blurring Speed is also pretty good. It's also green, so we're able to put it on them, and green is a good combo for us because, again, we do have 2 green heroes. So, yeah, you can't say no to haste. Is it better than... Well, actually, I think I could say that it's better than Thunder Kick. The only thing that I'm looking at here is, since we don't have Thunder Claw, Detonate does nothing if we remove all of our Thunder Kicks. So, that's something to consider. That's how I'm feeling. Let's hit this up. It's early, so the chance of Wakai recruit is like very easy to get. Then we take a look in here. We've got a legendary, which we're not. Something's up with minions. Mossy Earthshaker is also like incredibly good. Anyways, was a good look, and okay, this might be a little bit harder than we anticipated. Anyways, the bit where I was trying to go after talking about, what would you like to see in the game was basically, for those of you who are unaware, going over the sort of design process history, maybe is the way to put it, of the game. So, the game originally had a completely different scope, right? Originally, it was... They had a roadmap of like 25 or some freaking characters, and quite a bit of those are in the game now, and obviously a lot of them didn't make the cut. You are seeing like some semblance of those characters. They are the characters that are like the shopkeeps and such in at like the inn, the potion master. There's a couple of them that don't show up in the game, but I mean, those are what they are, really. The innkeeper Paula was supposed to be like some sort of a support, and obviously, when you have such a large scope as you do with this game, like honestly, it's impressive that we've got as much content as we do at launch. Like eventually, you have to, in game development, like cut back. You've got to almost come to terms with exactly how big your game actually can be. And so a lot of sacrifices have to be made. And over time, that has been less than 25 characters. And on top of that, oh man, we're going to really get bopped here, huh? I suppose since we have Leech, it's not that bad. We'll go ahead, we'll bop them. We don't want to use that, though. Anyways, another thing that used to be in the development pipeline is there used to be 7 regions in the game, and they had sort of like the map all planned out, and like the lower section, obviously the one that we're familiar with, having Uzir, Anador, and Scorched Lands, looked exactly the same on like month 2 of the game than it does now, at least as far as like how it looks. And there was 4 other regions up on the upper side of the continent as well, and so 4 provinces had to be cut from the game. And at one point there was a little, like, I guess a way to put it is a poll. I mean, obviously it's a poll. Was in the Discord, and they asked everybody, oh, well, what would you prefer to see in the game? Because I take it that they came to the realization that their scope wasn't exactly reasonable. And so they were asking, okay, well, would you want to see more heroes in the game, more provinces, more artifacts, and stuff like that? And I obviously voted provinces. Like, obviously, I wouldn't care too much if they were to instead add more heroes, which is what everybody else voted. I think it was like me and 12 other people were like, yeah, add more provinces into the game. But certainly the most interesting thing about the game is just not only like the sheer amount of stuff that's in the game, which I think is definitely its strong point. I think that as you, like, even at like the lower difficulties or like casual thinking about it, it's sort of like a Arcanium 105, if you will. Like, it can be done at any point, but it is kind of complex, is the concept of pathing through the game, right? Like we were just discussing there. Um, where do we want to start? And where do we want to end up? Where are good things that we're looking for? And then depending on where we were like, okay, we're probably not going over to Scorched Lands, but sometimes stuff happens. If you add more provinces into the game, and assuming that provinces are exactly the same as they are now, they have their own enemy bestiary, they have their own starting bonus, they have their own end boss, they have their own artifacts associated with it. You start to add more complicated pathing into the game, and I think that that's very interesting. So, yeah, I suppose just long-windedly, I would like to see more provinces in the game over more heroes, so to speak. Like, I could see maybe like each hero getting like a couple more cards, or adding like one hero and a province, or like 2 heroes in a province, and like capitalizing on like a new mechanic that that province goes for, kind of like how like minions are all spread about, but for the most part, you got stuff like draw in Anador. You got stuff like most of the minion stuff is in sort of Scorched Lands and Uzir. Everything has its own access to like crit in a way, and I think that that'd be pretty interesting. And there's a lot of design space in the game that could be. I keep debating if I want this war cry. I think I do. I kind of like that war cry more than a cleaver strike. Anyways, yeah. So I think the provinces have more to add to the game than characters, but I understand that most people just want to try out like new characters. But then the other like majority of people are just like, these characters are good. I want to use these characters, and these are the characters that I play the game with. And so I think that provinces adds a little bit more to that than just new characters in general, unless they have new mechanics. It'd also be interesting to watch them like explore that design space a little bit. Survive 4 rounds. Yeesh. This looks a bit rough, but at least this leech is going to do a lot of work for us. I'll wait on that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit rough. But we're doing relatively good. What? Hmm. Hmm. If you say so. I mean, I won't say no to one life. Ooh. Gain one shield whenever you hit an enemy would be pretty helpful here. Cost of the first melee card you play each turn by 1 AP is also considerably good. Especially on Misty, it would actually make Thunder Kicks playable. And obviously you would want them to be the first card that you play each turn. Maybe... I feel if we skimp on damage here, we're gonna definitely regret it. Oh, sorry, skimp on defense is what I meant to say. But it'd also be interesting to see how this feels. We'll try it. Deal 3 damage, pierce per chi in an area. It's pretty good considering where we're going. Not sure how to feel about Riposte. We don't have any taunt right now. We'll keep Sweeping Strike, but I don't think that we're equipping that. The best thing that it does right now is that it retains. Maybe we push for this capital to heal. And then we can start going after this again. Because that's a lot more likely than us getting this right now. Anyway, I hope that all my talk before was cohesive, but it's a pretty good turn actually. That might have been a good move. But yeah, what are you guys hoping to see in the future of Arcanium? Or is there anything else that you guys are particularly excited about lately? Okay. This is what I'm going to try. I think for whatever reason, Pounce is going into my discard. It's Pounce specifically. Okay. First bug report of the year. I don't actually know. I had a brain flash there and immediately went to click on cancel sending. So I don't know if it actually sent or not there. I know it says thank you for sending, but I definitely clicked a button. All right. That's going to save more health, and then we're going to T-bolt, T-bolt. Then screw it, throw that thing out there. And then let's completely save you from damage here. And do all this. Even he's going to be fine. It's great. I mean, for ulti stacking, we're going to do it. Ooh, that's going to be good. I was today years old when I realized that Detonate was ranged. Holy shit. I've been playing in melee this whole time. Probably also could have thrown that out there. Whoops. Kunai throw isn't bad. Meditate's pretty good. Sneak attack is just a better cleaver strike. It's also green, which is currently better for us. I think the kunai throw is the trick, though. Now people are finally going to have shock on them. Misty's going to blow somebody up. Misty's feeling fantastic. This is like actually the perfect setup for this too. The only enemies that aren't yellow here. Why do you gotta have that shit on, huh? Alright. Hmm. I almost feel like this would be a waste now. What I actually need is a campfire. Because the only person who needs to be healed is Rag. Backlash is interesting, especially with this team. It might be a Mimico's phase shifter though. Hmm. We'll take the Mimico's phase shifter because we, that'll help. More burn though. Meep map. Okay. We do need to heal though. So there's no way that we're going to take Rag with 17 health into a shard battle. That all certainly helps. Oh my god, we forgot to put in Wakai recruit. How dare we? Hmm. It's gonna be rough. It's definitely gonna be rough. We have no cleanse. Tentacles doesn't really affect us. Okay, we pretty much just need to clear these enemies here. We could put this all on you, but I'm not sure that I'm about that. I think how we're gonna beat you is minions somehow. I'm really not feeling good about Ragnarok taking burn, especially 7 burn's gonna kill him. Jesus H. So he's gonna have to take 15 instead. Please do thorns. You piece. Wow. Well, at least we got this going for us. Ouch. I guess the best move actually, even though it's going to cost us damage, is going to be to do that, to save a little bit of health. And then that. This is going to be a rough fight. At least Misty's doing moderately well, despite having 7 burn on her. Now you're going to use Thorns, which is going to give us some relief. Of course, we got double AoE going on here, apparently. Okay. Thank goodness. That's going to block a lot of the damage and help us with incoming later. And now the trick is we have to stack a frick ton of minion here. Because if we don't stack minion, this is going to deal 36 forward and probably kill somebody. We also have this burn going on right now, and we... Oh, man. Frag is our win condition. We can't afford to have him die. This is just dealing so much goddamn damage, though. So that's going to deal 16. You're going to be down to 12. You come in. We may honestly be dead here. Well, in order for us to stand a chance, Rag has to live another day. Who is going to help us the least? Probably Lady, to be honest. These Act 1 bosses with the applied damage when burned or when hit are just... they are incredibly oppressive. Don't know how else to put it. But at least we can do that sort of silly shenanigans. And it's how we're going to win this. Hope you guys are ready for a 20-turn shard boss. Okay. That's the way we're doing it. haste whenever an enemy hits you. I don't know if we'd actually utilize that quite a bit. I could see us getting away with it, maybe, actually. But otherwise, actually having a tank for Royal Breastplate seems like it's best. And normally, like outside of that fight where you have to take like 7 burn and we don't have access to cleanse yet, Misty hasn't really had an issue with damage. She's actually been mostly full health the whole time. She just had to eat a burn 7, another burn 7, and then she also like took an ult for 36. Otherwise, she's been pretty good. Also having to lane dance twice. So I mean, she should be at like 29 right now, which is still not great, but otherwise Misguard Bracers is great for a payout. It's a way for us to get shock on enemies, which is what we want to do. Haste is not a way for us to get shock on enemies currently. We are going up into Anador, so monk beads can kind of feed into sort of like a little pseudo infinite. With actually I believe that's here, isn't it? Take me to the legendaries. Not ceremonial coif, the other one. No, that's not here. Then that would be up in Anador too. Interesting. But we need some defense on team. Like it's our number one weakness right now. Murky Strike giving access to healing to Ragnarok is something that we definitely need. Because now he's like the only person who's missing the ability to like really heal himself because he doesn't really attack that much. He's mostly playing minions at this point. So Murky Strike's going to help bridge that gap. Especially if we can have vulnerable on the target, then he heals himself for like 18. That's like 1/3 of his life. It's pretty good. And that's probably going to replace our last. That's nice. Firestorm Ballista is also pretty much what we're looking for. I generally like. Is it really? What? How has this been spelt wrong this whole time and I didn't know? Anyways, generally speaking, Firestorm Ballista is like an always take. I could definitely see it right now because of the fact that we have Detonate and no way to actually like get shock on people. It's an easy way to get shock on people. Standard of Hope, since we don't have Rep Swarm, definitely gains value. Brass Knuckles doesn't really feel that great to me. Like, obviously in a shock build, everybody says like, oh yeah, Brass Knuckles is amazing because it's access to like more multi-strike. But one, we're not creating big enough shock stacks for that to actually matter. And two, honestly not sure that we're going to use much of that. If we had Blade Storm Ultimate on Lady, I could see it. But otherwise, it's just... Like, again, it's a little bit of extra damage. I'm not disrespecting it, but it's not going to give us as much as Firestorm Ballista or Standard of Hope, in my opinion. Because the double strikes, while relatively good, we're going to want to replace them, especially if we're trying to be tanky Lady. We're probably not going to have any multi-strike, so all this is going to end up being is like some extra hits on Misty. We take Firestorm Ballista just because it's insane, and we can go ahead and put that on Misty. No reason not to, really. Okay, we're at the point of the video where we got to start wrapping this up. Let's go ahead and get this level. I feel pretty good about that. A yellow crew. Why? Oh, did we put Murky Strike in? We did, but we didn't remove his last Cleaver Strike for it. Oh no, we did remove his last Cleaver Strike. How the fuck are we gonna fit that? Anyways. Well. Like how? Oh no. Also, I thought this was the shock fight. I didn't realize that it was the fight that dispels or cleanses. Not so great when we're kind of relying on having access to leech, it seems. Like, Rag is not doing well at all. At least that mitigates most of the damage, I guess. And now we have all of this? Dear God, are you freaking serious? We've at least got a solution for this. Let's heal up a bit. Move into here. Throw that out. Actually, this fight's over. Completely forgot that I had Lady on the team for a second. Bottled Lightning is much better than Thunder Kick in every conceivable way. So, get rid of a Thunder Kick. And honestly, with, I think we can get rid of the second Thunder Kick now. We haven't seen a shrine in Uzir, so show us that. One's here. It's a light shrine. That's pretty good. And then an elemental shrine. These are like probably the two best shrines that we could find here. I'm not sure that we're good with Void. I'll be perfectly honest. Going into here is going to be pretty rough. We're still going to do it though. And just hope for not a bad draw, I guess. Alright, you should be... You should not be there. You should be there, but I really don't want you in front of the burn. It's complicated. Well, you're gonna get burned anyways. You're gonna burn alright. What the heck is this hand? A little bit of the Kung Fu hustle, I guess? So I'm actually gonna do something like that. Save as much health as we possibly can. Now Rag needs an opportunity to use his lifesteal. No buts about it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use this. Grab his lifesteal. Oof, I wish we had 4 AP. We could set... Well, actually, we're getting burned either way, right? Oh wait, we cleanse every turn. We don't care about the burn. Okay. I forget about these things. I don't know what I'm doing. Good lord. I was trying to set that up. What's that? He's bad? Always has been. This fight's pretty under control then. For whatever reason, I was under the assumption that we were going to get burned to death. Are you able... Does it heal? Each wheel heal? Okay. Shame you were light resistant. Applying more leech. I do think that that's better than a, well, I mean, we've gotten rid of our cleaver strikes, but this is huge. Even if he doesn't particularly use it, it's scaling health on his minions, which we definitely need. Oh, now we're at the old question, right? We can save 300 gold by clicking this button right here. In fact, it's technically worth more than 300 gold. It's currently worth 500 gold. But is that better than infrastructure? I think that Misty could use a draw. Especially the way we have her set up. Goes through her deck faster. Yeah. I feel like if I go here, we're going to lock this out. But let's just... Oh, son of a bitch. Give Lady some toys. Outplay is amazing. We'll take that. Vault Strike is also relatively good. It's better than Fléché Strike. Another Taunt. Not sure how I feel about Duel though, but we can definitely fit these in. Get rid of Fléché, a Fléché. Probably another Fléché, really. And now we're looking pretty good there. You are now ulti plus, this is +6/+6. That honestly might not be too bad, since we can spread Wakai Recruit. Yeah, I actually quite like that. Another Wakai Recruit would honestly be pretty slick. Maybe we fish for that? Might be too late to fish for that. Wandering Banshee. There we go. That's going to seem insane, because it is. It's going to make us much more reliable though. And I'm also debating at this point if we even... Like, all these are good. Kunai throws pretty good on him. Do we take out his last rep swarm? Or rep spawn? Maybe we deal with the 4/4 and just reduce him down. The thing is that if we take his chomps out, he doesn't really do a lot of front damage. And that's going to feel pretty garbo as far as like him being able to leech. But he also has access to Void Touch and Murky Strike for his sustain. And the Void Touch is mostly for his minions. I'd also like to drop Rituals of Rites of Battle, but it's just not the time for it. Maybe that's the play. Alright. I think that's where we're at. We just spent all of our money getting a second Wakai recruit. Next video, we should be able to hit this up. Get this Light Shrine. Go over here for this Elemental Shrine. Hopefully be able to unlock this forge here. Farm this. And then finally actually go into the area that we said that we were going to. After all, we have a... Oof. We're actually quite close to the 30 enemies in Ozir. And it could even happen, honestly. 1. This is probably going to be a fight, so that'd be like 2. We might have to fight for it. And then we could get it 600, which would pay for that Wakai recruit, which is honestly pretty good. Like, I think that Wakai recruit is easily worth 600 because of how good it is. But we might be able to still kill 30 enemies in Anador for these upgrade 3 abilities, and that's going to be huge output for us. 2 locations in Anador is going to be a little bit difficult though, because that's particular. We're going to have to try and find a way to get over to here, and then to wherever else, hopefully spawn central, and not like here. Also a good cluster of hazards here. Like this one's a lava pit, which is a little rough, but we should hopefully have our defense in line by then. We're also going to have to keep in mind that we're probably going to fight Razar for our boss. Anyways, there's a bunch of planning and stuff, trying to talk about, game development and stuff like that. If you have any feedback, be sure to leave it down in the comments below, be it questions, concerns, comments, misplay alerts. How do you feel that this team is doing? Where would you have taken this team? How do you feel about how this team has developed in this run? And then, as earlier, another question that you could answer is, what are you looking forward to seeing in Arcanium this year? Anyways, until next time, I'll catch you guys around.